Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. The would-be judges, the 144,000, and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen nations that look like those heathen nations. This is not a black thing. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you, I say shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. And we're talking about end-day prophecies. To that brother who left a comment, I don't know if you were sincere, if you were scoffing, about going into the whole Genesis thing. We're not in the beginning, we're in the end. And myself, the apostles and elders, other elder bros, the bishops, there's probably at least, I could just roughly guess, there's probably anywhere from 7,000 to 10,000 videos on the breakdowns of Genesis, right, between the men of the Great Millstone. All right. And so you can just use your search engine and let it do all the work. And let's put in GMS, Genesis, and breakdown of Genesis, and videos will pop up. I'm not, the spirit's not on me to go back there. We're at the end of this thing. All right. And you're trying to get clarity on something that we've already done. You got to catch up, brother. All right. So, if you were sincere, Jake is never enough for Jake. We're talking about current events and the last days. We're living in the last moments of the last days, and the lies and the perpetual lies that just keeps coming from the mainstream media. Matter of fact, let me grab a scripture. This is Matthew 24 and 24, and it reads, "For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." So, but they can't deceive the elect. It said, if it were possible. It's not possible. Only the 2/3 and the rest of the heathens are going to get caught up and believe the madness. It's like now, all of a sudden, it's not even UAPs and UFOs anymore. All of a sudden, it's just drones. Drones are flying over FBI house and just hanging out. Drones flying over the CIA buildings and all our important, in securities places, flying over NORAD. Just drones that are foreign drones just coming hanging out over Jersey. Hey, look, what was that movie? I just watched a movie, a really good movie. It's on Netflix, by the way. I watched it in the movies the first time I saw it, though. It's called Into the Badlands. And it was Russell Crowe and a couple other, and Chris Helmsworth's brother, I forget his, really good movie. And it showed you the devastating power of the Reaper drones. So if car-sized drones, dozens of them are flying into our borders and into our cities and right past our military and all our defenses, and they're just telling you that what they're admitting to you is that America is helpless against its enemies. America might as well just put up the red flag and pull down the American flag and just surrender to China and Russia if that were the case. If that many drones, if hundreds of drones can just fly all into our airspace and just, hang out and do whatever the fuck they want, what you're not looking at, as they're trying to control the narrative and tell a lie on TV, all right? They don't know what they are, they don't know who they are, and blah, 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 blah. So you mean to tell me you can't? So what if they start firing off rockets like those Reaper drones and or whatever you call them? I think they were called Reapers, yeah. Into the Badlands. All right. What if they start doing that? They're flying over FBI agents' houses and start destroying our FBI agents and our CIA. All the people who are supposed to be protecting us are now vulnerable. We have no protection. That's basically what they're saying. So they're lying to you. You're not just going to fly into American airspace, all right, with anything. unless it's a chariot of the Most High, a UFO, something that they have no power, no control over. No one does, because these same things fly, especially when they change sizes, and 12 of them fly into one, and then they separate and become 12 again and change shapes. No, there's no technology for that, and they fly much higher, and then even leave Leo, Earth's low orbit, fly in and out of the orbit. So you're not being told the truth, man. All right, you're not being told the truth, and it's shameful. It's shameful. Matter of fact, let me get Habakkuk. Start at verse 15, because they're putting that bottle to the mouth of many Americans, and they're believing this shit. There's all kind of people, putting up videos talking about the drones and all that. Even Lisa Cabrera was talking about drones. What about the chariots of Israel? Shalom, sister. What about the chariots of Israel? The power that's coming to get the Lord's children, the Lord's true people, out of Babylon. Okay, but this is Habakkuk 2:15. And it reads, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, and puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness." All right, so telling, you giving these people these lies, and you're leaving them naked here in America, because you're not telling the people the truth. It says, "Woe unto him that give his neighbor Salakia. Thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory." So America is a big embarrassment right now. All right, and the Lord's right hand is going to going to be turned loose on America, on Babylon, through those chariots, not drones, not UAPs or UFOs. So now let's go to another current event where they left out the most important detail. The fact that the CEO of United Healthcare was assassinated, and this detail that they left out was a connection to Nancy Pelosi, that he, in less than 10 days from the time that he was assassinated, was supposed to testify against her in court over illegal trading. Makes me wonder if somebody, Nancy called up Hitlery. We all know who Hitlery is. And Hitlery, sent them people on him. When she make that call and say, make it look like an accident. All right. All this time, they didn't make it look like an accident. They made it. They sent a very clear message, and then they're trying to use that and run a different narrative, that the people are rebelling, and then there's now CEOs and important people are in danger. Well, all these lies they're trying to cover up now. And then what's this shit about Fauci being pardoned, getting a pre-presidential pardon? Well, why would he be worrying about a pardon if he didn't do anything wrong? Yeah, because the evidence is going to say otherwise. That's why. All right. Nancy Pelosi more than likely was going to not do well in there's nobody to testify against her now, because everybody that was that came up against the Clintons with that river thing. What was it called? Now I can't remember the name of it, but all I know is that everybody that was involved in that, and all the cops that saw anybody who touched that information or was a witness against them, all met with mysterious accidents, because because she made that phone call, make it look like an accident. All right. That was just me being facetious, but more than likely, that's kind of like what happened. But let's get down to the truth. Let's play some of this video. Actually, I'm going to play. It's only a 5-minute video, so I think we're just going to let it play, and I may interject now and then with a scripture if the Lord puts it on my spirit. But they pretty much, this is that Psalm 64:8. Let's get it. Let's get that. And it reads, so they shall make, now I'm going to start at verse 7. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly they shall be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. All right. So people are starting to see, the people of the world are starting to see that that America and the Israelis, the European Union, basically, people, the Edomites, who refer to themselves as Caucasian or white, they're the problem in the world. All right. There's even been a few AI programs that said the same thing when they actually let them free to do. They had to change those programs quick. But here we go.
Honolulu, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and only jimmydore.com. You know, the health insurance executive who got gunned down in the streets of New York City? Bill Burr weighed in. And let's listen to what he had to say about it.
Oh, what's going on in New York? We were just talking about it. That CEO got fucking whacked.
Oh my God, dude.
You know what's funny? I was sitting there reading an article, guy. They go, oh my God, he's such a great guy. He had a wife and kids, and he's such a great guy. And then you find out he and the other guys he's working for are getting sued for $121 million for dumping a stock and not letting the other people know.
In the lawsuit, he and multiple other United Health executives are accused of offloading something like 15 million shares of stock.
Wow.
It's like, there's your motive. Nancy Pelosi just made $9 million on some shit.
11 million.
Nancy Pelosi's stock trades saw a 65% return last year. This comes as Congress has stalled talks on banning lawmakers from trading stocks.
They're gangsters, dude. Fucking gangsters. And then one of them gets whacked or something. They're like, oh my God, he was such a good guy. The dirty game, Paul. Healthcare.
Right. Al Capone had children. Babyface Nelson had children. Pol Pot had children. You know? So just because you got, he was a piece of shit. So is Nancy Pelosi. You know, and how she's coming out of this unscathed, I have no idea. Now that her name is out there, but you know, the mainstream media, they're gonna wash that over. You best believe, because she's an insider. They're gonna wash that right over.
Here, dirty game.
It's a dirty game.
Yeah, Bill's right. Bill's calling.
Now, mind you, they still didn't speak about the fact that this CEO was supposed to be testifying against Nancy. All right? They still haven't brought that part up yet. Then he got assassinated. Then he, as Bill Burr said, he got fucking whacked.
Okay, I wouldn't even thought of the Pelosi angle on it either, by the way.
Me neither. But Bill, don't you know that if you have a kid, that makes you automatically a good person? That's what they've been saying. He's got kids. Yeah, so
you live life to the fullest.
He had sex with someone. Does that make you a good person? I don't. And there's that name again when you hear about stock manipulation, and then Nancy Hammer Time Pelosi's name comes up. Looks like she's making a killing in the market and even outside the market.
Her dad was a mobster. Her dad was a literal mobster. You know that, right?
So there's Bill Burr with the correct take on this.
Yeah, good work, Bill Burr.
Good. He's got the correct take. It's like, what? These guys are all gangsters. He's been about $121 million stock deal. Come on. And so here's some people. Here's Andrew Yang, friend of the show. Guys, defending or justifying shooting a man in the street is a path to hell. Don't do it.
Can I rap about it?
No, I'm sorry, Andrew. The path to hell is paved with corporate bootlickers kissing up to mid-level power. Like you're doing.
Are you yanging my chain right now?
Are you yanging my chain?
Damn.
I'm just yanging your chain.
And here's another guy. Here's Apex bitch, Richie Torres.
Yeah.
He says the cold-blooded murder of the United Health CEO is not cause for celebration or an opportunity.
And see, they're trying to spin the story. No one's mentioning the fact that this guy was about to testify against Nancy Pelosi. And less than 10 days from the day he got shot. So even though this story is being told, they're still trying to spin the narrative. All right. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11, and it reads, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." Because this act is going to bring down the hammer on American citizens. For example, had an article with Nancy. Not Nancy, but Marjorie Taylor Greene issues a new warning amid Luigi Maggioni praise source. All right, this is Newsweek. This is coming out of not Newsweek, but Newsbreak. Now, because some people are calling Luigi Maggioni praise. I mean, they're giving him praise. I think he's a patsy, and he's just an actor, and it's all being set up. That's what I believe. All right. One thing that I'm not blind. When you look at those, I talked about it yesterday, and many other people have, but you can clearly see that the original masked individual was not him. When he's wearing that mask, because they don't show you any more pictures of Richie masked. They only show you the picture of the masked guy and then him standing there with his mask down. If you'd have pulled that mask up and put those two pictures side by side, you can do that yourself just by blocking it. And you can clearly see that he has different eyes and a different nose. That is not the same guy. And the guy, and at the time that this all went on, at the time frame, he was wearing similar but different color clothes. Richie had on a dark jacket with the gray hoodie. The guy had on a black jacket and a black hoodie. Richie's hoodie had pockets. The guy's jacket didn't have pockets. And hoodies and not Richie, but Luigi's backpack was had black straps, and a black pack was strapped with black straps, and the guy who did the shooting had an all gray backpack. So they clearly wasn't the same guy, and these images were taken within the same time period. He didn't change clothes. All right. And like this, before I read this Marjorie Greene Taylor article, let's go back to that image that was being passed around, and I'm gonna read it again. All right. And it says, "So you're telling me Luigi Maggioni, I hope I said that right, an Ivy League grad with 130 IQ, takes off his mask at Starbucks to flirt with an employee, ruining his anonymity." So I got on a mask. I'm anonymous. Nobody knows who I are. I'm going to take off my mask just to flirt with some chick when I'm about to do the crime of the century. All right. An hour later, he calmly murders United Healthcare Center and rides off on a bicycle. A week later, he shows up at McDonald's carrying the murder weapon, the fake ID used during the crime, and a written manifesto against the American healthcare system. He gets recognized by a cashier, and after sitting down, then works on his laptop armed with the loaded gun and suppressor he made himself until the police walk in and arrest him on the spot. Come on, man. And then it says they're distracting us from something, and now we know what it is. This guy who got assassinated was about to testify against Nancy Pelosi, and they're controlling and covering up that narrative. All right, now back to this Marjorie thing. Because what they're about to do is come down on the American people. All right, they're going to eventually shut this internet down, because that's just it. The news has been put on blast daily every time they put up a false story, because what's happening is that in these places around the world, there are cell phones of witnesses, and people are taking images and videos and uploading these things immediately. This is like a lot of these, so-called shootings that happen. All of a sudden, in a place where people are selfie addicts, nobody's taking any photos, and the only images you see are the ones that they show you over and over on the news, which really don't show you anything, except for what they're trying to make you see. But this is what Marjorie Taylor Greene had to say. It says, Marjorie Taylor Greene issues new warning amid Luigi praise. Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, is worried that Luigi Mangione, the suspect in last week's fatal shooting of United CEO Brian Thompson, will spark a new left-wing political movement. Mangione, 26, was arrested at McDonald's at Altoona, Pennsylvania on Monday morning following a massive manhunt in the afternoon. So and you got a manhunt, you just going to go to McDonald's and sit down with all the evidence that they need. Come on, man. This sounds like a damn Scooby-Doo skit. I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids. Get the hell out of here, man. Come on. Says he is currently facing a gun and forgery charges in Pennsylvania and is likely to be extradited to face murder charges in New York. A handwritten manifesto purposely found with Mangione. So at the time, so what is it with these people who plan out these crimes who just want to write some down on paper and leave it? Come on, man. That's the MO. Every terrorist have to do that. That's some FBI spook, CIA spook bullshit that they push on you dumbass people who believe it over and over again. It says, a handwritten manifesto purposely found with Mangione, purportedly found with Mangione at the time at his arrest may indicate that Thompson's killing was motivated by anger about the health insurance industry, with the suspect allegedly justifying the homicide by writing, "The parasites had it coming." So that is to take away from the fact that the victim in this crime was about to testify against a major political figure who was actually about to be in trouble in court over insider trading, as they pretty much admitted here on the Jimmy Dore show. All right. So this is them lying, trying to control the narrative. Let's play a little bit more, then we'll wrap it up with some scriptures.
Opportunity to vent. Talk about being out of touch.
He's a paid operative.
This is, by the way, it's not him being out of touch. Exactly what Kurt said. He's got an opinion for hire.
Exactly.
So he takes money from the health insurance, from Big Pharma, from APEC. That's what this is about.
Any civilization that celebrates cold-blooded murder is don't say that. You're going to get Israel mad at you.
Aha! It
Yeah,
is. He says
yeah.
it's barbarism, which there should be no tolerance for this.
Yeah, remember when we celebrated that the Israelis blew up them pagers and blew that little girl's face off,
remember
and
that?
everybody laughed that they just thought it blew off some guy's dick, which also I wouldn't celebrate.
Yeah.
I think I agree with
What they
Richie
say.
Torres. This should not be tolerated, and I think, Richie, that you should go and individually straighten each one of the people celebrating this out by yourselves. I'd pay arena prices to see what happens to you.
Cold-blooded murder, like denying valid health care claims to people that paid into insurance and their loved ones died. That seems kind of cold-blooded to me.
He was a human being, Kurt. So was the Hillside Strangler.
Wow. So he's got a point. These people were doing some dog dirty shit. And, who's to say that he didn't deserve, what happened to him? It was judgment. All right. You don't know how many people died because of them denying service and stuff to people like that, not paying out payments. They just want to collect money. That's how insurance companies get wealthy, by not paying out. All right. You finding a reason to deny you payments. Okay. But nevertheless, what about the part? I'm waiting to see, if it's gonna hit YouTube, because everyone at YouTube seems to be ducking and dodging it, but it's practically everywhere else. You go on Rumble, you go on Odyssey, you go to TikTok, but YouTube, JOOTube is heavily regulated. And like you said, you can't say anything against the small hats, all right? Because then you're gonna get attacked with the anti-semantics. But look, we're living in the last moments of the last days, and the Lord warned us, all right? There's wars, rumors of wars, and the crash of the economies, the pestilence, the and then the micro C here, Revelation, the 13th chapter. That movie Homestead is coming out on the 20th. I highly suggest that everybody goes to see it. All right, because it's gonna be places like that popping up, and people are gonna run to them, and those people are gonna be fighting against the other people in the government, and then the government's gonna try to come in and take places like that, commandeer the weapons and the food for themselves. But this is Matthew 24:6, and it reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places." I think it was a 6.4 earthquake in America today. Pestilence are attacking the whole world, and they're here in America now. All right, and many of them are man-made, many of them. Like the center of disease creation, that place. All these are the beginnings of sorrows. And then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So that's talking about, the Lord's children, because we're the only ones really pushing the name. That's why they come so hard against the Hebrew Israelites. Even though it's a useless effort, everyone that comes, against us gets proven wrong through the scriptures, through history, through the truth. And many shall be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. All right. And many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. And both those things are happening. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right. And people are going to be really cold toward each other. They already are. And it's going to get even worse when the shortages come, when it gets worse than what it is now. When the lights go out, then there's no more 911. And people are taking, and when all the grocery stores, the windows are just knocked out because all the citizens have just gone through them to go clean them all out. They're going to be gutted. All right. It says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. See, so, that whole rapture lie, that's not true. You have to endure through this. All right. And then the Lord is going to put a cover of protection over his elect. And then once the arrows begin to fly from one end of the earth to the other, that can melt the elements. That's when these chariots, not drones, UAPs or UFOs, but when the chariots of Israel come to pick up the elect and also to destroy Satan's army here. That's when Satan's Air Force, right, the ground force, the American, what's the NATO and EU forces, what's left of them after this third world war happened, actually, flying around in heaven and up above the sky, trying to shoot at the chariots as they already have. And they're just going to get annihilated, just as the scriptures say they are. That's the war in heaven, all right? When Satan, the adversary, the human adversary, all right, shall be no more. That's a future prophecy that hasn't happened yet, all right? It's not talking about the spiritual entity on the left-hand side, Satan, who's a son of God. Read Job, the first and second chapter, all right? It says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all the nations, then the end shall come. So that love everybody, apologetic, Baptist, slave, Catholic, plantation Christianity has been preached for 500 years, and the Lord didn't show up. It wasn't until the Hebrew Israelites started teaching that the prophecy sped up, and we've gotten to this place where we are. After Ezekiel 37, when the valley of the dry bones, when the bones woke up and the stick was made, identifying who the 12 tribes are, that was major prophecy. All right. It says, when ye therefore shall see an abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Let him which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is in the housetop not come down, but take anything out of his house, let him which is in the field return back to, neither let him in the field return back for his clothes. So when the Lord say go, you go. All right. Now this happened in the past, but it's going to happen again. This is also talking about the duality of the scriptures. This is about to happen. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. So this is not a good time to be pregnant and having small children. It's not wise, and it's not a good time. It said, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. Because if it's on the Shabbat, the Lord's going to be extra angry. So at any moment now, we could be as pilgrims. We're going to have to leave our homes, our houses. We don't know what's going to happen. We know it's going to happen, but we don't. All we do know is that it's close. And the only way out of this is through Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. There's no other way out. The Lord's not with you. I don't care how good of a shot you are, how good your stand-up is, how good your ground game is. None of that's going to help you if the Lord's not with you. So with that, I'll give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakaha Kodash Kwam Yasharala Abad Babal.